All right, start recording. I'm gonna try and find my profile pic because I think
Let's
it's
get this
funny as
shit.
fuck.
Let's get this shit.
All right, boys.
Dude,
Welcome back.
Oh,
Welcome back,
welcome
everyone.
back.
How we been
Welcome back
doing?
to another episode of Geek Loop. Post Spider-Man No Way Home.
Oh,
There's only pre Spider-Man No Way Home and post Spider-Man No Way Home. That's it.
What would it be like? BSNH, and then ASNH.
I mean, it could just be BNWH, and then ANWH. Because there's BC and AC, right?
Yeah.
Are we in AC right now?
And then they changed it to something in AD. I don't know what the.
This-
Oh,
fuck-
AD. That's it.
movie
No,
is comparable to the birth of Christ. Like,
It is. It might be the best movie I've ever seen in the past few years.
Yes, Steph's gonna have a lot to say about that. We're in a whole new year. A lot of things happening. So let's just dive right into it then. What do you
Do we
think?
want to talk about Spider-Man first, or do we want to talk about Matrix first?
I think
sure.
we could start with the Matrix. Started off shitty.
I feel like the Matrix is a shorter conversation.
Yeah, so I think I watched 1, 2, 3, and then the new one. I think Gavin did the same, and I think you didn't.
I have never seen a Matrix movie besides Matrix Resurrections.
Yeah, so personally, I think that I don't even. It's like hard for me to even form words about how much I hated that movie. Like it was so fucking bad. Like they just ruined everything. At least I'm gonna pull up the screen capture here because this is just a clear example of what's going on. Like, look at this. This is the first thing I want to talk about. This move right here wasn't done once in the whole movie. That's the classic Matrix move. I know you've probably recognized it, Gavin, because you saw the old ones. But pretty much anytime any character in the Matrix in the old movies, even like Morpheus at one point, they do this like weird. They go into that position right there, and then they do like the "bring it on" motion with their fingers. He didn't do that. He had a scene where they had a zoom in on Keanu Reeves, just like this picture, and he's like getting ready to fight, and he just doesn't do that.
They probably did that on purpose. They're like, you know what people are going to expect here? Don't do it.
And then that's terrible. And then the second thing, biggest, even bigger than that I had a problem with, is fucking Agent Smith. Like, look at fucking, look at this guy. Absolute villain. Like, that's terrifying, dude. Can we zoom in? Enhance? Look at this.
They replaced him.
And they replaced him with this guy. What the fuck is this? Who is that? And that's the biggest problem. Gavin, you just said it right there. Throughout all the first three, this guy right here, he's yelling, Mr. Anderson. It's so ominous. This guy just calls him Tom. He's like, hey, Tom. Like, what the fuck, bro, Tom?
I also feel like
Who calls him Tom? No one's ever called him Tom in his life.
again, I haven't seen the other movies, but I feel like if the movie didn't tell you directly that was Agent Smith, and if he didn't have that one scene of him screaming, Mr. Anderson, then you would have no idea it was Agent Smith.
Yeah, and like that's the only time he does that, and like it just
He does it once.
It just
And it makes,
doesn't
like,
even
no
look
sense.
as like this face compared to you can just it's not even a real scene playing. You can just tell who played the role better. Like this,
He's
just
a villain. That's
looks-
Red Skull, bro. A literal Nazi.
this looks fake. This guy at scenes. I had a picture pulled up earlier. I lost it, but it just looks like he looks like discount Tom Cruise.
Yeah, he's just another businessman villain that they called Agent Smith. And, like, I don't know. I remember so little of that movie. I kind of remember pieces of it. I don't remember the ending at all. I remember the movie was happening, and Gavin's like, you said this ends at 2:16. There's, like, 10 minutes left. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
Like, how are they going to end this movie in 10 minutes? Nothing has happened yet.
that's what I'm saying. The most memorable part about the movie is how unmemorable the movie was. Like the only thing I was thinking about the whole time is when is this gonna fucking end, or like when is something I care about gonna happen? Like what was the movie
Right.
about? A love story between Neo and fucking Trinity? Like
And barely even that. It wasn't really even about that until the last like 40 minutes.
And then they just do shit that's just completely unexplained. Like, yeah, we have no idea why Neo and Trinity didn't age, but yeah, everyone else aged, and the lady that you met over 100 years ago is actually still alive, and she's the leader. That lady that was like the leader of the civilization had to be like in whatever year terms in the movie, like in the storyline, like grand scheme of things, had to be like 98, like 100 years old. Like she's running the fucking she's running the secret human society. Like, are you kidding me? And then again, and then her whole thing throughout the first 3 movies is she was like, I don't believe in the prophet, I'm not gonna let you do what you want. And then she's like talking, oh, I should have just let you do what you want. You know what, you did good. And then he tries to do something again, she's like, no, I'm not gonna let you do it. Like, what are you doing? Did you learn nothing?
I think I said that to Gavin about that lady. I was like, so she was in the previous ones? And Gavin was like, yeah. I'm like, well, how come she looks like this and Keanu looks like Keanu? Doesn't make, it's like this. It's
and they don't even explain that, and they don't explain
the Keanu thing.
They don't explain why, like, really at all, where Morpheus just died. He's just like, yeah, he just died of old age or something, and this is like a computer Morpheus who can now float around in like this weird cybernetic nano form.
And I don't know how you felt about it, but I feel like I like that actor. I've seen him in other things, and I think he's great. But
business
I
guy?
feel like he did not play Morpheus.
No,
Morpheus.
You just can't. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, if you have Matrix Resurrections, you want to, like, it just felt like they're trying to remake it into something for, like, they didn't give a shit about any of the old fans, like anyone who cared. Like, you could have easily just both the guy who played Agent Smith and the guy who played Morpheus both went on a record saying that the who's the director's names, Wachowski.
It's just one Wachowski.
Oh, yeah, it was just one of them. But yeah,
Lana.
Apparently they never reached out. They never even like asked for that.
Yeah, I guess the whole movie was written without them in mind.
And that's just lame. Like, those characters were like Agent Smith you could do without, which doesn't even make sense that he's in this new movie because he literally died in the last movie, like of Matrix 3. Like, his whole plot line was that he, like, even the fucking Matrix itself, well, those machines didn't want Agent Smith there, so it was kind of like a mutual enemy, Neo and the machines. And they're trying to tell us that somehow machines made Agent Smith come back to life within the simulation. Like, what? Like, oops, the bug happened again. I don't know how that happened.
To believe the theory that this was made this bad on purpose, because she didn't want to make the movie. The Wachowskis didn't want to make it because they told their story and it was over. And Warner Brothers told them, we're going to do it with or without you. Yeah. We're going to do it with Keanu or without Keanu. And I'm a rider of the theory that they're like, okay, fuck you then. This way you can never make another Matrix movie.
They literally did say that was like a big thing in the movie too. They're talking about it.
Right.
Like, the Warner Brothers is going to go ahead and do this with it. Like, they're making them inside the movie is a joke on how the movie is like. They're all trying to discuss what the Matrix is truly about and stuff like that.
I also read that Warner Brothers almost cut that line out because they were like, imagine. I mean, since the Matrix,
it's a funny line, but I mean, and it wouldn't have mattered if they cut it out. The movie still would have been shit. But if the movie was good, I would have done without that line, just because, like, I don't want to hear about the fucking real. Like, why does Warner Brothers exist in the Matrix universe?
Since the Matrix conception, though, hasn't the whole thing been about what is the Matrix really about? I feel like that's been a conversation since it came out.
Yeah, but why?
And it's still a conversation today.
People just looking too deeply. Just watch a movie about a bunch of machines that put humans into batteries for energy and just so happens to put them in a matrix. So you don't look any deeper into it than that. I mean, there's deeper hidden meanings because it's obviously films are art, but like.
Also, hold on. Before I start with this movie, again, not having seen the previous movies. This is just me hearing about it. The previous movies had a Matrix style to them. They had green tint the whole time, or for most of it. And this movie, like, lost all style that the Matrix movies had. Like, it had a specific Matrix tint. This movie just cut out all that. This movie just looks like another 2020 movie.
It was also just irking me the whole time they're playing, like, the original Matrix over the movie. Like I don't want to watch that movie again. Like it's just making me watch I watched pretty much the whole first Matrix in that one movie. Like
it's also like, oh hey, remember this better movie?
Yeah, it's terrible. He's like sitting here, they're like showing the scene with Morpheus and fucking Neo talking, and then he tries to do his version, and it's just worse instantly. Like you just shot yourself in the foot by showing like the original talking and then being like, let me say the same line, but not deliver it nearly as good.
And I posted some of the pictures in chat of the Matrix. The whole thing has that whole green tint style. Like, it's a stylized film, and this movie removed all of that. And that's interesting.
Well, and they tried to do that scene again, too. Hold on, I had the...
Oh, the mouth scene?
Yeah, I definitely had the...
Also, they kind of talked about... I heard this somewhere else, but I want to bring it up. They kind of talk about, how bullet time was like such a huge revolutionary thing, right? And you would think that if they were bringing that up consistently, that they would have a new huge revolutionary thing to like display instead of bullet time, you know? It just seems like that's the natural setup for them to create something new. And he gets that like shield thing where he can stop things with his hand and blow up nukes and shit with his hands, but like, is that the new thing? Because that's not nearly as exciting as the bullet time stuff.
Yeah, he doesn't do any of that. Does he even do any bullet time shit in the movie? Like, I don't even remember.
People do.
And like, he didn't even fly.
Yeah, I know.
That was like the best thing. He like learned how to fly at the end, and she flies. It's like, which is like. That also was like that's like a fine for what it is, but also why? Like why is she flying? She doesn't even have any of the like powers or anything. Like that was supposed to be like that whole thing, and now anyone can do it. Is there just no rules in the Matrix? All these schmucks walking around like normal fucking people can just start flying? Like, what are you fucking doing, you idiots? Walking? Look at me, I can fly. Just think about it. Use your brains, you morons. Just takes off like a jet. Yeah, overall, I seriously would rate that movie a 0.
And again, I haven't seen the other Matrix movies, so maybe I just wasn't connected to it. But a lot of times, I go into like movies get rebooted, or you get a sequel 10 years later, all the time now. It's like the thing. I mean. Not anymore. The new thing is multiverses, and we'll talk about that even more later. But the thing used to be do long overdue sequels or do reboots, like Jurassic Park or Indiana Jones or I don't know, any other ones that you guys can think of. I'm trying to think of some other ones off the top of my
Jumanji?
head, but I can't. Jumanji, yeah, exactly. That was the thing for the past few years, and they're late to the game. But like, I've gone to movies that I haven't seen the predecessors to because they were new, and I've enjoyed them a lot. I was bored throughout this whole
because
movie.
they did this weird thing where it wasn't like those other movies all kind of remade the old movies. There wasn't really like this was like a kind of continuation off the third movie, but the third movie was the end of the series, so it was like a soft reboot, but not a soft reboot. It made no sense. It was like stuck in limbo between being something that old fans wanted and just something entirely different.
But that's the thing, though. It did it wrong. Like Jumanji and Jurassic World did that. They were sequels while also being soft reboots, and people still like them. Jumanji, people love those movies. This could have... You can do a sequel and a soft reboot, but this just didn't do it right. I don't know. There was a point where it was towards the end of the movie. I got up and just changed my speaker from headphones to speakers and just started putting laundry away.
Yeah, I was doing dishes during the fucking movie. You could, but you could. The reason why I feel like the reason why those other ones succeed is because like they were sequels in a way, but they didn't really like. It wasn't like a direct sequel. Like they referenced the old ones, but like Jumanji, they're playing a video game now. It's not even a board game. None of the same actors are in it anymore. Like same thing with Jurassic World minus a few people. Yeah, they referenced that it happened, but it was a long time ago. Matrix is like trying to be like right continuing the story, like trying to just fucking keep going for some reason.
I'm trying to think of other movies that have done that. Dumb and Dumber 2. Oh Jesus. Finding Dory, Zoolander 2, Independence Day Resurgence. Okay, these movies, none of them really did that well. Finding Dory, I mean, it's Pixar, so
it's because you can't end a series and then years later be like, you know what? Let's make a movie that says it didn't actually end, because like, what the fuck?
I got a movie to beat you on that. We'll talk about it in the next topic. But yeah, I don't. Indiana Jones, Crystal Skull.
Is it gonna be another Amazing Spider-Man movie?
Maybe.
That's not even confirmed.
It's very heavily rumored. Also, I could 100%. Are we transitioning to the new topic? This is a good.
Yeah,
segue.
but the Amazing Spider-Man would also be different in regards of the fact that movie, Spider-Man didn't die or anything. Like, they can pick off because it wasn't a definitive ending. They kind of just didn't make it. Like, the Matrix ended. Like, they died. Those motherfuckers died. They lost.
The Matrix is such a weird choice. Warner Brothers sitting and looking at all their properties, and they say, "What can we do?" And it's like, "Oh, well, we should do a sequel to something." Okay, The Matrix. Why?
No one asked for that.
Especially after the last two movies are like generally perceived as not being good, but they're good because they exist as a whole with the whole series. But 2 and 3 are nobody's favorite movies. So I don't understand why. Like, I could say the same thing about Jurassic Park, but that's, it's dinosaurs. Dinosaurs are going to make money no matter what. But The Matrix, I don't know. Warner Brothers is on a roll recently with movie sequels like Space Jam.
Yeah, it's like Warner Brothers, and it's funny because in all the movies that they're producing, Warner Brothers is kind of like the villain that's making them do it.
Yeah.
Like, why are they allowing this to happen? They're just like shitting on themselves.
Oh, it's kind of crazy that happened twice in 1 year.
Both of the movies that they did, they were like, Warner Brothers needs this to get paid because they want to make money. Like, what do you? It's not even a joke anymore. Like, it's just straight up a fact.
I was having shout out to Critical's podcast. Because have us on sometime, but they were talking about The Matrix, and they said that this film and Hancock kind of have the same plot, where the Matrix guy, he like can't keep Neo and Trinity too close together because they're too strong, so they have to separate them, and it's like the same thing that happens in Hancock with him and that girl.
Yeah,
they need to be separated. It's funny. Yeah, I'm looking at Dr. Sleep did good. Bill and Ted Face the Music, another Keanu movie. That was actually hype. Okay?
That was a good movie. But that's because Bill and Ted is, you can't go wrong.
It has to be stupid.
All those movies, yeah, there's no like definitive end of Bill and Ted. It's like a gag. I would argue that Jumanji was in the same boat. It's hard to really make, like, some people didn't love the new Jumanji. Yeah, but it's also hard to get wrong because it's not like a intense storyline drama. It's like a movie about a fucking board game. So like,
they also did it differently though. Jumanji went a different route of Jurassic World, whereas Jurassic World was like, let's do the same thing again. Dinosaurs make money. I mean, they're not wrong. But Jumanji, they kind of flipped it, where they're like, the game comes to us, this time we go to the game. And it's like, okay. I mean, it's a good idea. It makes sense. You throw The Rock and Kevin Hart in there and Jack Black, and you got yourself a hit. I love the new Jumanji movie.
What'd you say, Gavin?
Nothing. Just don't sleep on Karen Gillan.
Oh, I mean, yes, Karen. I was gonna say you throw a hot girl in there too, but
she's more than that.
She is more than that, but that's her purpose in the movie.
Fuck's sake.
I like that they Jack Black playing the teenage girl is like the best cinema decision in years.
Jack Black is just a classic. I will say one last thing before I forget to wrap up this Matrix segment. They did do that Matrix whatever like game preview thing, which I don't really understand that decision either because they only released it on the PS5, which no one can get. So like it looks really cool actually, and it looks awesome. But they released like a super cool like Unreal 5 like game preview type deal where you can test like a open world version of the Matrix. It has like a little gameplay segment, and it's like pretty awesome. But
It looks dope. It's like,
Cool.
you haven't seen that, Gavin?
No, I haven't.
Are you serious?
I haven't even heard of that. I didn't
It's
know
ins-
anything like that.
The whole thing is that the graphics are like lifelike. Even when you're playing the game, it's like you're playing a movie.
yeah, here, look at.
But yeah, looking through some more of these sequels, Incredibles 2. This is a one that I couldn't believe we didn't think of. Blade Runner 2049.
Like, look at this. It's like there's like a full game preview that you can play around with and do. There's like physics. Only on
really,
PS5, something that nobody has, nobody can get.
The thing is, like, if you take out like the thing you're controlling, it looks really good. The thing you're controlling still looks really good. But if you take that, either whether it's a human or a car, out of the environment, it looks 100% real, like it's film.
Yeah, and
It's pretty
I don't
crazy.
understand why they just didn't put that on like at least PC, like so everyone can. That would have maybe
Yeah,
I wouldn't
PC
hate what they're doing as much if they gave me that at least to play around with.
I mean, maybe if they put it on PC, they could push it even further. You know, I looking at it. If you watch it long enough, you catch yourself going like, "Oh shit, this is fake," and they like, no. You lose yourself in it a little bit because of how real it really does look. Every now and then you'll do a double take and be like, "Oh wait, this is a video game. This isn't a movie." It's really cool. It's exciting. Mad Max Fury Road is another one.
All right, well,
Sequel reboot.
now I'm gonna bring up.
Go it, yes, yes,
Everyone's
sir.
been waiting for.
Moving straight into, we can talk about. Oh, there's so much I want to talk about with this. Somebody remind me at the end of this that I want to talk about multiverse being the new thing, and how that's going to affect the film industry going forward. But also, piggybacking off of the last conversation, sequel reboots, Amazing Spider-Man 3. Not necessarily that movie, but like Andrew Garfield appearing in more things. Yeah. I guess we could have said spoilers, but
I mean, at the start of the show, we were talking about post No Way Home.
oh, that's facts. That's facts. That's facts.
I've also
Good,
seen
good.
it's been almost a month. That's I say spoiler time is about a month. If you haven't seen the movie in a month, then you are not dedicated enough to not
You
have
also
the movie
can't-
spoiled. Like if you're gonna fucking click on a video or something like that and expect to not get something spoiled, I don't know.
You also
You're living
can't
life
talk
on the
about
edge.
this movie without spoilers.
Yeah, for sure.
The
what
Men
hap-
in Black movie is not in this list. Men in Black is another one. I keep thinking of sequels now.
I think we all enjoyed it though. Saw that pretty much the first day it was out.
Amazing.
Yeah,
loved it.
liked it.
It was one that I was so excited for, but like inside I was a little nervous because I was like, what if it's not good? What if it's like Far From Home? Far From Home is good, but like, I mean,
Mid.
it's definitely the worst of the three. And after seeing this movie, it's like super mid, for sure. I love Homecoming, but Far From Home is definitely like a 5 out of 10.
Yeah, this was definitely a crazy one. Willem Dafoe, insane, great performance.
Going into this movie, he had a caveat, and it was that he had to do all his own stunts.
He's just so epic, truly an epic
He's
man.
awesome.
True. He had to do all of his own stunts.
That was his request. He wouldn't do it unless he did all his own stunts.
Sick.
Yeah, he's a king, dude. He's a gem. And he wanted the Goblin to have a bunch of action scenes so that he didn't turn into what he said, an internet meme. Meanwhile, they had the literal meme in the movie.
Yeah.
You know, I'm something of a scientist myself.
I like this. I like this image going around to him too. It just looks like straight up the Green Goblin.
Halloween. I keep thinking
Yeah.
of sequel movies.
He's at like the grocery store. Dude. He just got one orange is clearly moldy, as you can see here. The other one is
he's like right
quite
outside
nice.
the fucking.
He is a man of many looks. Have you ever seen this iconic image of him? Let's see. Let's get this. I'll post it in general. You can bring it up in the chat. This image of him is one of my favorites. It's truly Goblin-esque. This is him when he arrived in our universe and had no idea where he was.
Look at him, dude. Look at his beard.
He's a fucking king. He's a good man.
Just a wild looking dude.
Everyone always casts Willem Dafoe as the Joker. Well, it's a good casting choice, but like Joker, Green Goblin.
Yeah.
Let's get more original here.
Come on now. So what do we want to talk about first here? What do we want to delve into? I have like one thing that I want to talk about, which is, I'm just gonna leave it at that. Get my one thing out of the way. I'm stealing it.
Go for it.
This is the worst.
It's not even the worst take though, it might not have, but it would be, if you think of, imagine if it happened and they incorporated the fact that he used the ring, like somehow he forgets who Peter Parker is and something happens, like it's some sort of like while Peter Parker's saving someone, Ned Leeds' grandmother, whoever you're staying with, gets killed and he goes on like a I gotta kill Spider-Man thing, does the whole thing with the serum that what's his name made, because he actually has some from when that fight went down. And once he gets on that, he goes crazed, has all the Green Goblin stuff, steals the ring from Doctor Strange, and now we have a Hobgoblin who can like do the portal thing, and that would be sick.
Okay, but you think at the beginning, we're like, okay, what if he forgot Peter? He did forget Peter Parker.
Exactly.
I actually see. Okay, I don't like the idea, but
but isn't that's in the comics? Ned Leeds is Hobgoblin.
Yeah, but this is not the same Ned Leeds.
But it won't be the same Hobgoblin either. It'll be like Hobgoblin in the comics was like just a fucking Green Goblin.
Here's the thing. The Ned Leeds incarnation of the Hobgoblin is like very. He was brainwashed and didn't even realize that he was the Hobgoblin. So he was the Hobgoblin, but he didn't know he was the Hobgoblin. So you could do a thing like that, which is kind of what they did with Goblin and Spider-Man.
Well, that's why I think he's gonna take the, because like he won't be becoming Hobgoblin. He'll take the serum thinking it's gonna get him whatever to fight back against, get revenge on Spider-Man.
I think you could do it. I'm more inclined to believe that they're gonna start this new deal with Marvel and Sony, because if you guys didn't know, the reason that Ned Leeds and Mary Jane's not Mary Jane, she's Michelle Jones, but she's still MJ. The reason it's Ned Leeds and Michelle Jones and not Harry Osborn and Mary Jane and all that is because Marvel didn't have access to those characters. Sony, the deal was like super strict, and a lot of the characters don't act like themselves. Like Betty Brant is not a reporter at the Daily Bugle. She's a kid in Peter's class. A lot of that stuff is because the Sony deal was super strict. So I'm inclined to believe that now that they've redone the deal, after seeing how much money is in it and after seeing how bad it would go if they called things off because they had that little stint a few years ago, I think I'm more inclined to believe we're going to get characters like Harry Osborn and we already got Liz Allen, we already got Virgin of Mary Jane. Maybe we get a Gwen Stacy.
I don't think we're going to get an Osborn. I almost guarantee you won't, because the way the whole Green Goblin thing already played out, and I already read a thing where someone from the team said that Oscorp doesn't exist in this universe.
It doesn't. As far as No Way Home, Oscorp doesn't exist yet. But I don't know. I could see it.
I don't think they're just gonna. It would just be, that's just too, because then they're gonna make Oscorp, and then what are they gonna remake? They're gonna make another Green Goblin, another, like that whole thing again. I think it's far more likely that they'd go the Hobgoblin story than recreate a whole new Green Goblin. Like, everyone loves Willem Dafoe, and I think some people still even love the fucking whatever his name is that came after.
James Franco. Oh,
yeah, James Franco.
Dane DeHaan from TASM 2.
No,
Nobody loves that Green Goblin.
James Franco. But I think the Ned Leeds one could be cool. Like, imagine too, the actor himself gets all like ripped over us.
Well, he was already losing mad weight.
That's what. See, I know. Yeah, I know. I'm right with this one. Honestly, I would put money on it that he becomes Hobgoblin.
I could see it happening. I don't know. I want more just like Spider-Man characters. We don't have a lot of Spider-Man characters because the deal was so locked tight. So I want more Spider-Man characters. I'm not against Ned Leeds becoming Hobgoblin.
Hobgoblin is a Spider-Man character.
Right, but I just want more. I just want more Spider-Man characters.
And I think it would be so cool to see like a Green Goblin type villain, but with a Doctor Strange ring, like flying through portals and shit.
I also think it'd be neat to see Peter get to college, and he's like, "Oh, what's up? I'm your roommate, Harry Osborn." He's like, "What'd you say?"
Exactly.
And then he's like,
what I'm expecting.
He's like, "Oh, I'm Professor Kurt Connors." He's like, "What'd you say?" He's like, "What's up? I'm the maintenance man, Flint Marco." "What'd you say?" I think that'd be funny as hell. I want it.
I don't know. I could see the. I don't see them remaking any characters that didn't do like exceptionally bad.
You want to hear I got a theory that I think's pretty solid about something that happened in No Way Home. Just to still talk about villains and talking about the future of the Spider-Man franchise. The after credit scene with our boy Thomas Hardy. Venom 2 was epic.
No, okay? It wasn't. It was way worse.
You are dumb.
Just the same shit, except it doesn't have the
except Carnage uses fingers as a USB drive, bro.
I enjoyed watching Venom 2. It wasn't like good. Like it was. I enjoyed it.
Enjoyable.
Well, you didn't see the first one, did you, Jake? Right?
I did.
Oh,
I actually kind of liked the first one.
I like the first one because it's so stupid. But this one is just stupid, and I know how stupid.
The only part I really thought was stupid was like the part where they got Venom like in the Venom form walking through like a fucking club. Like I'm like, well, what is going on here?
Venom's literally walking around San Francisco murdering people, and we're like, nah, it's chill. Like he's like, oh, another one.
I would say that like. I really wanted Tom Hardy to stay as Venom. Like I know it won't be, but I really just. I don't know.
Venom for what?
Maybe not even the physical form, but even the way his acting as Venom itself,
you mean
like
the MCU.
Yeah, but you won't.
Okay,
but
and that brings me to my theory. Here's my theory. You ready? So Tom Hardy got sent back to the Venomverse, which there is no indication that it's not the same universe as Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, by the way. And I'm willing to put money on Andrew Garfield appearing as Spider-Man in Venom 3. And fighting Venom for some reason before they get together. I think Sony is building to some type of Null story. But
sort of. Are we gonna have now like Sony and Marvel made the agreement, and now everyone loved Andrew Garfield, so now Sony's gonna be like, yeah, we're just gonna make a whole new universe of Spider-Man. Like now we're gonna have two Spider-Man universes simultaneously happening.
And let me keep going. You're spoiling my theory. So we have a Venom symbiote in the MCU now, right? Obviously they're gonna do something with it. I think Peter will get the black suit. We'll do that whole saga, but I don't think Marvel will want to do another Eddie Brock because we have this extremely popular Venom Eddie Brock. Whether or not you like what they do or you think it's stupid or not, it makes money, like almost $1 billion kind of money. Venom made like $800 million. Venom 2's pumping like $670 million without China. Okay, it makes money, so people like it, so they're gonna keep doing it. But I don't think Marvel wants to do another Eddie Brock. So my theory is that symbiote, we're gonna get Scorpion in a movie. They teased it in Homecoming.
From Mortal Kombat?
Yeah, facts. No, Scorpion, Mac Gargan. They teased it in Homecoming, and obviously they're gonna bring him back. And now they have J. Jonah Jameson, so they can really do Scorpion correctly. But in the comics, Mac Gargan was actually another long-time host of the Venom symbiote, like for a long time. So I could very much, and this way we could get our evil Venom villain, like an actual villain, instead of an anti-hero, because Mac Gargan was not an anti-hero. He was on the Dark Avengers for a little while, but it was They were still villains. So we get Mac Gargan as Venom, and then we still get Tom Hardy's Venom antihero over in that universe. Now, hold on. I'm trying to get a picture of Mac Gargan's Venom. That's my theory for MCU Venom. That way we get a bad Venom, or a villain Venom, and a hero Venom at the same time. And Tom Holland gets to fight a Venom that's not the Sony Venom.
But how is the Venom symbiote that dropped in the regular other Spider-Man universe not just the same Venom?
So that's where things get confusing. I'm not sure. Maybe it's like another child of Venom. Maybe he spawned another thing. Because that's technically how the symbiotes like reproduce. They just drop new symbiotes. So maybe that's not the Venom symbiote. It's a different symbiote. But in this universe, it's just gonna go by Venom. It's Venom Jr.
Venom Jr.
But like, I don't know. I think we're gonna get a Venom, and I'm very set on it being Mac Gargan. And continuing on your thing about Andrew Garfield, that's my other theory. So Morbius just got delayed. Again. It was supposed to come out not next week, but the week after. So 2 weeks from now. It's a direct continuation of No Way Home. We see Vulture in it. We see... The interesting thing about Morbius is that we have no idea what universe it takes place in, because we've seen Vulture. We see Oscorp, so we know it's not the MCU, but Vulture's there. And we see Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man on the wall with murderer written across it. So we don't know what's going on. And I don't even know if Sony knows what's going on. We'll see if they can pull it off.
Yeah, so what do we got? Oh, now we gotta have 3 Spider-Man universes going at the same time because you gotta throw Tobey Maguire back into the fucking mix.
Hold on. So that Tobey Maguire thing is literally just a rip from the PS4 game. Like, it's a rip.
Well, I knew that. I assumed the picture's not true, but like, are they considering making more? Making more Tobey Maguire movies?
I would say no for now, but I wouldn't put it past in the next 30 years if we get a Spider-Man 4. I wouldn't be surprised. But anyways,
wait, before we move off that one quick thing, I will say that I usually don't like most of the things I see on Facebook, but I did see someone post one thing that said how sick it would be if they made like a Wolverine style, like more mature Spider-Man movie about Tobey Maguire.
Yeah, that'd be cool. They call it Spider-Man Last Stand.
Yeah, something like that.
Well, that's like an actual. That's the comic where Spider-Man like goes down fighting. It's
like old Tobey Maguire, and he just like
he's put an end. Spider-Man.
Put an end to him. They've never shown like the end of that stories like that. Just wrap it up.
He's Spider-Man Last Stand. He's got a kid, and he goes down fighting, and ends up getting like shot to death by like 1 million military guys.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. And he's like, if you're gonna go down, you're gonna go down fighting. And he kicks the shit out of like all of them, and then gets hit with a bunch of stray bullets. It's cool. But so going back to Andrew Garfield, that everyone always thought that Toby picture was intended to just be a placeholder. They were gonna change it in post to something else, which I think is true. But there's also that trailer for Morbius where he says, "I'm Venom," and it's like, okay, so it's also the Venom universe. But does anybody even know that Venom like exists as a hero in that world? Like those people at the nightclub know he's there, but they don't know he's Venom. So like, how could he? So people don't understand that. But I'm losing my train of thought as I'm writing it. I think that is it possible that Sony delayed Morbius so they could put in an Andrew Garfield cameo? Yeah. They released a statement saying it was because No Way Home is overperforming so much that it just looks better if they put Morbius in the next quarter than in this one. And they also don't want to take money away from No Way Home, which is also a viable theory. So I don't know if Andrew Garfield will show up in Morbius, but it's interesting that it got delayed. Anywho, I'd put money on Andrew Garfield showing up in Venom 3. And I don't know if Sony would go as far as to release another Spider-Man movie, but it's also not impossible. Like, they can do whatever they want with the character.
Yeah, but I think they should just give it over to Marvel I think that's the safest bet. If Sony's making more Andrew Garfield movies, who's to say the same thing doesn't happen that happened with the fucking last ones?
But Marvel had a say in. They had a little piece of say in Let There Be Carnage. So I mean, I don't know. I'm all for more Andrew Garfield. I'm all for more Spider-Man. I just feel like Sony has finally realized, hey, we can have like 3 Spider-Man franchises going on at the same exact time.
Yeah.
Tom Holland, Andrew Garfield, and then Miles Morales.
I'll be psyched when they bring Deadpool into one of those Spider-Man universes.
Oh,
Deadpool will be in the MCU within the next 6 years.
Like, when are we gonna get? They already got. All right, so they already got the Hit Monkey. So when are we gonna get the Deadpool goes to New York to get hit to do whatever and runs into Spider-Man who thinks he killed someone, but it was actually Hit Monkey, and then the Spider-Man Deadpool murder mystery where they got to catch a monkey.
I'm telling you right now, you're watching Hit Monkey.
I'm not watching Hit Monkey, but he already exists. Now they've brought him into the universe, so Hit Monkey's around. They could put Hit Monkey in. I mean, he's in the Spider-Man universe.
Hit Monkey's good. The animation's kind of trash, but it's good.
Yeah, there's literally a whole like.
Said that about
there's like multiple comics about that.
I don't like claymation. That's why I said that about MODOK. I like MODOK.
I hate the animation, and I found it incredibly terrible. Profoundly awful.
Alright, well, we're not talking about MODOK. You're busting through my theory. Shut the up.
You shut the fuck up.
But yeah, I think Andrew Garfield will become the Spider-Man of the Venomverse. That way, because they're doing a Kraven the Hunter movie. They're doing. There's been talks about a Rhino movie, and that's why he wasn't in No Way Home, because they want to do a Rhino movie.
I don't want to see a Rhino movie.
You
Oh,
do
you're
it,
gonna
though.
get it.
I don't.
There's also talks about an Electro movie coming, and it's like I don't want any of those movies without Spider-Man. Can they be interesting? Maybe.
I don't even really care though. I don't want to see these. Every fucking villain gets their own movie now. Who gives a shit?
Craven's already been cast. It's Aaron.
That's
Taylor
different
Johnson.
though. Craven is like plays a big role
You're lying.
throughout
You're just-
Spider-Man.
You're just trying to
I'm
get me
not lying.
excited.
I'm not lying.
You're
That was
lying.
No, he's not lying. He's right.
What?
That was a long time ago.
Yo!
I'm
That's
just telling
awesome.
you, it gives us an opportunity to get a darker Spider-Man story too. Because love him or hate him, Marvel's only willing to go to a certain point. I don't know.
Well, Craven, I would be fine with seeing because he's like a big part in a lot of
Right, but
Spider-Man shit.
I want to see Craven murder Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, and then I want to see Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man punch his way out of the grave and kick Craven to smithereens. That's what I want. I want to see Craven's Last Hunt, but I want to see it done well. There are certain stories that I just don't. I love the MCU and I love the movies they do, and I'm so grateful that they have Spider-Man and they can do him with the other heroes. But there's a difference to the movies Sony made without them and the movies they're making now.
Like, when are they bringing in like X-Men and shit to?
I would say a long time, like maybe 6 more years, 5 maybe. We might get a mutant spread out here and like every now and then, but X-Men itself as a name, it could be like 6-7 years. Technically, we've already had our first mutant in Black Widow. That guy that arm wrestles Red Guardian is technically that a mutant. What's his name? He's like the giant grizzly bear.
I completely forget.
But yeah, so I think my theory is coming out of No Way Home. We're getting more Andrew Garfield. We're getting a Venom in the MCU. I just be prepared for Spider-Man because I think there's going to be a hell of a lot more of it coming.
Oh yeah, because that movie just exploded.
Yeah. This is Sony's biggest movie ever. So, and this goes. Does anyone else have any thoughts before I move forward into the multiverse stuff, Gavin?
Let's Gavin, you got anything to say real quick?
You guys caught me off guard. I mean, I don't know.
What did you think?
About the movie?
What were
Yeah,
your
did you like
thoughts?
it?
You're watching.
Yeah,
You're watching
I
the
mean, it was
movie.
just
What's
okay.
going through Gav?
Yeah,
What's going through
whatever.
Gav brain while you're witnessing this movie?
But I liked it. I mean, you covered a lot of things I was thinking about.
Yeah, sorry, I talked a lot. I had a
Especially-
lot to say about it.
Spider-Man is your whole personality, so just kidding.
Sure.
No.
That's true.
Fuck, I lost my train of thought too. But like you said, I do really love the idea of Andrew Garfield continuing on, because Spider-Man in the MCU really is Spider-Man in the MCU and not so much Spider-Man with his movies a lot of times, which
Yeah.
kind of sucks. You touched on it, like how it's got a different sparkle when you just see him on his own.
There's a
That's
difference,
character.
and it's not even just like him on his own. There's just a difference to how the movies are made.
Yeah.
Like the Marvel formula exists,
Mhm.
and while I think it's a good formula and I enjoy it, and the movies are different from each other, I don't think they're all the same. There are times where they all feel or look similar, and I don't know. There's something about movies being made by different studios that adds a little bit of flair to it. Like the Amazing Spider-Man movies, love them or hate them, they look visually a million times better than any of the MCU Spider-Man movies we've gotten.
I'm sorry.
Those
which one?
movies,
The Amazing
The-
Spider-Man movies?
yeah, those movies, the CGI, the visuals, the cinematography looks a million times better than any MCU Spider-Man movie we've gotten.
You like all the designs better? You think they
Maybe
got
not the
design?
designs of characters, but like just the CGI overall. Like that fight, even though I don't like the Amazing Spider-Man 2, the fight scene with Electro at the end of the movie is like visually stunning. And I just feel like we've missed a little bit of that in the MCU movies. Yeah, and it's just, I don't know.
Jake, I know this is a long callback, but that picture of Ned Leeds you pulled up, where
Yeah.
did you, where's that screenshot from?
I just type in Ned Leeds.
Oh.
Ned
Is
Leeds
that
hot.
like official?
That's an official screenshot. Technically, so there's like an Instagram page, and it's supposed to be in canon with the universe, and Flash Thompson runs it, and he put that hat on. He posted a picture of Ned and drew that hat on it.
It's gonna happen. There's 100% no doubt about Ned Leeds is going to be Hobgoblin.
That picture, I feel like honestly seals my belief in Jake's theory.
It seals the deal. They already hinted. I mean, there's no way they would bring in a character called Ned Leeds, who in the comics becomes the Hobgoblin, and just get rid of the Hobgoblin part. Like, people would be pissed.
They do shit like that all the time. You know how many times
When?
they name characters who don't end up being the same character? I mean, like,
But
what, Iron Man
name-
3?
I also heard,
But like major characters like that, like Ned Leeds is like Hobgoblin is a huge villain. Like, and they wouldn't just get rid of that villain or just make that villain have
Is
another
Hobgoblin a huge
name.
villain?
Yes!
Hobgoblin is not huge.
He's pretty big.
Mandarin
He's
is
pretty
huge.
big. Most people know. I don't even. I'm not a huge Spider-Man fan, but I know Hobgoblin, and I would think most other people would know the same. If you ask if you ask most people like Mandarin or Hobgoblin, they'd probably know Hobgoblin.
I could see them doing Hobgoblin simply because they don't want to do Green Goblin again.
But he's not gonna be. That's why I said he's gonna have the ring.
Right.
He's gonna be like a whole new entity. No mask. He's gonna have no mask. They're probably gonna do like a CGI, weird looking, messed
gonna
up
have a
face.
mask.
No, he's gonna have a
Oh,
no, because I think if they do it right, a messed up face would look sick. Like, look at this. I'll pull
Like
this
Bro
up.
Goblin?
Jake, I want you to show the GIF that I'm posting into.
Like, not like a messed up face, but like, yeah, like weird eyes, like
That's
kind
not
of
a
like
GIF.
kind of like the messed up skin. Like he something's gonna happen to him that makes him that way. Maybe he's gonna get the ring, and maybe he's gonna train under Doctor Strange, and like he realizes that, or like, I don't know, because he forgot, but he's gonna do something like that brings it back, or maybe he's gonna get called on by Doctor Strange, and something in the multiverse or something's gonna go wrong, and he's gonna get all demonified. I don't know. Many theories, but I know it's gonna happen.
I mean, maybe something will happen similar to like in the Doctor Strange movie. I don't recall what happened that makes that guy's like eyes cave in purple, and he's got like that weird taint.
Oh, it's Dormammu. It's
Not
the dark
Dormammu.
energy.
Oh, Dormammu is doing that though.
It's drawing the dark energy.
Yeah,
Just
maybe
like,
maybe he'll experience something like that.
Orange. Yeah.
Jake, I want you to show that GIF that I just posted on screen. Oh, what the fuck? Not that GIF. Don't show that GIF. That GIF sucks. All my friends hate that GIF. That's not the right GIF.
Epic boop bounce gif.
Yeah, facts. Oh, hold on. I'll find it. Keep talking, boys, about something else.
Well, we'll show this GIF in a second. I'm going to say this is an ideal time to take a little break and hear from our wonderful sponsor. So we'll be right back.
Breaking right for an advertisement. Jake, who we sponsored by?
Anchor.
Stop.
The easiest way to make a podcast with everything you need. Right in one simple, really well-designed website. It's got all the tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast straight from your computer or even your phone. When you're hosting on Anchor, you can distribute your podcast to all the platforms like Spotify, Google Podcasts, that other podcast streaming site by that other
else,
big media company.
Wherever else you might find your podcasts.
Wherever you might find your podcast. Super easily. Anchor walks you right through the whole process. Everything you need to make a podcast, all in one single location. Whether it's the app on the phone or the website on the computer. And guess what?
Yeah, don't forget the best part.
No, the best part. Gavin, tell us the best part.
You can use code PP. It's entirely, just kidding, it's entirely free!
You don't even need a code.
No code.
No code!
Just go to Anchor, sign up today, download the Anchor app or the Anchor.fm. Get started.
Or go to Anchor.fm. Don't download Anchor.fm. Who knows what that is?
just get started now.
And we're back.
I literally thought that was like a fucking audio clip. It sounded so weird.
I found the GIF in perfect time, right as our ad ended.
Oh, that's so great.
The most recent GIF I sent. I want you to show it on screen.
You're gonna do it.
I'm showing it. I'm enhancing so it looks nice. Boom, boom, boom. Let's get this. Wait till it loops again. Boom. There we go. Oh, look at that.
So this GIF right here. Like, look at this.
Yes,
the Marvel movies could never.
Yeah, that's sick. His web is a hand.
Yeah, no, it's like
he's going to grab Gwen as she's falling. I love that scene. That's like the thing. Here's the thing, like, movies a lot today don't do it anymore because they think it'll pull you out. But like, yes, it's silly that his web turns into a hand, but it's a stylistic decision. Like The Matrix being green. Like, the movies just don't do that anymore because it pulls you out of the movie a little bit. But like, I don't know, that's artistic as all hell. The web turning into a hand trying to grab her.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
It's just
I thought you were a hater.
I just think it's funny. He needs a hand. Like, look at that. Come on now.
And that's what I mean. That's why movies don't do it anymore. Like, you don't get that.
I like that stuff. I wouldn't
Artistic.
say the movie's like 100% better looking. The Marvel movies are pretty impressive. That shit's
look good, but
shit's
I just think,
pretty nuts.
I think the TASM fight scenes beat all the Marvel Spider-Man fight scenes. They
just haven't really given him as much to work with as the other ones. Like, the other movies had like some pretty dire villains with pretty intense powers. And what does Peter Parker fight? A dude with fucking wings. Mysterio, but then they kind of pull out that Mysterio never wasn't actually like a superpower. He was just a dude with
he doesn't have superpowers in the books either, but he still does all that crazy shit. I don't know, when you try to
Is that it really? He doesn't do anything like that.
No,
I thought he had some sort of power.
He's a special effects guy, and the whole reason he hates Spider-Man is because Spider-Man crashed his film set and ruined his movie.
Yeah, so that's like that Spider-Man in the MCU hasn't really, I don't know, in my opinion, hasn't fought any formidable villains. Like, if he fights something with like actual superpower, except in like obviously the Avengers movies, which those fight scenes I would say are like Spider-Man in the brief fight scenes in like Civil War and the Avengers Endgame, pretty good.
They did that one scene in Far From Home with Mysterio that was like awesome. But like, you know what I mean, where he's in the globe, and then there's the million Spider-Man beating him up, and he sees the zombie Iron Man. That scene is so cool. But I don't know. Every now and then, Marvel CGI catches me off guard, and I'm like, eh.
Yeah, sometimes they try to go too big.
I don't even know if it's that. I think it's part of it is the effect of doing the movies so fast, like making them so quickly. But I don't know. It's not not me hating on the Marvel movies or anything. I think the people who hate on the CGI so much are stupid. But every now and then there are Marvel shots where I'm like, that could have looked better. Or I think back to older Spider-Man movies, and I'm like, things have looked better in those movies than they look here. I don't know. I love everything being under one roof, but it contradicts with me loving the idea of different people making different movies, so we get different visions. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's what you. I mean, that's the. Let me put this away so I can say this point. That's one of the biggest reasons why I love the show The Sopranos, is because it's obviously a show, so it's different, but it's different than most shows where it's like every episode was filmed like a movie, which is what all the directors and everything talk about when they talk about a show. And that's what made it so cool, is you get all these episodes directed, written, produced, all these by different people. So it's the same show with the same characters and the same plot, but you get to see different perspectives. And obviously it's not the same thing that they do with Sony and Marvel movies, but I can see where you're coming from, because it's cool to see other people make. You don't want the same people making these movies over and over again. Like, it gets dry. Right. It's cool to see what other directors can do with the vision and like shit like that.
And that's why, like I love the MCU. What the MCU's done is insane. What they've accomplished is like actually mind blowing. 12 years of interconnected storylines that now branch into TV shows and even comic books. It's truly, I mean, it's amazing, you know. And I guess having all that cohesiveness, the price you pay is losing a little bit of creativeness. You know what I mean? Because it just seems like, yes, they're different directors, yes, they're different writers, but at the end of the day, everything is approved and finalized by Marvel and by Disney.
Yeah.
You know? And it's also like Venom Let There Be Carnage, whether or not you like the movie, it's extremely different to any MCU movie.
Yeah.
Like, so different. It looks different. And it also brings me to the DC movies. The DCEU is a total bust, and we'll talk about that even more in a second because I have more multiverse topic. But, like, Birds of Prey, I fucking love that movie. It's incredible. It looks amazing. I think it's hilarious. It's so stylized, and I don't know. I just feel like you wouldn't get a Marvel movie that looked and felt like Birds of Prey. And I know that's a weird one to pick out of the bunch, but yeah, you know. Shazam is a lot more like, okay, this is a superhero movie. But Birds of Prey is just it's built different.
The DC universe is they got work to do. But
they do have work to do.
Before
but DC universe has like some hitters. They got hits. Like Batman coming out, I have a feeling that's going to be different than any other superhero movie too, and I'm excited about it.
Let's pump the brakes here and finish off this Marvel.
Finish off Spider-Man.
Well, I think we've passed Spider-Man. Now we're dipping into what the end of Spider-Man opened up for the Marvel universe. The post-credits, multiverse of badness. We got some things coming.
Another quick tidbit about that post-credits. I don't like when they just put the trailer to a movie as the post-credits scene.
I hate that.
I think that's stupid.
Yeah, that was pretty lame.
Like, just show me at least do the thing where you show me a scene from the movie. I don't want to see the trailer. You released the trailer like a week later. Like, now everybody's seeing it. I'm not special anymore. Show me something. Like, you could have, I don't know, something else. Even if it was Wanda, like, completely disconnected. It's not Doctor Strange. It's Wanda going like leaving, going to that house that she's at. I don't care. I don't like when they do the trailer as the after credit scene. They've only done it one other time, and it was for Captain America, and they just showed a trailer for the Avengers. Like, that's so stupid.
Who's gonna be showing up in this multiverse of madness? What's going on? What are they bring? Are they gonna bring in? Is it gonna be similar to Spider-Man, where they bring in like a bunch of fucking characters?
I think everybody. Like, when I say everybody, I mean like
Deadpool?
everybody. Yeah.
No, you don't mean that. I would that's the only time I think I would seriously cry at a Marvel movie. I would be so fucking happy. I would be unbelievably happy if I hear the Merc with a mouth come out from that fucking thing and is like says something like poop taco, and I'd be like,
fuck. Even if he's not, I'll give you a list of people that I'd place money on appearing in this movie. Deadpool. I don't know if it's a spoiler to say a leak, is it?
No, I mean, let's just preface it right there.
With a grain of salt. Like, it could be a spoiler, but it's also a leak, so who knows if it's real, you know? But I'm pretty certain. I know for a fact that James McAvoy, Professor X, is in the movie.
Yep.
A bunch of other X-Men. Namor, I could see showing up. One of the members of the Fantastic Four, at least. Whether or not that's a new Fantastic Four or from the original movies, I would love it if we get the original Mr. Fantastic back from those original two.
Thrown in with there, I'd also love a quick Nick Cage Ghost Rider.
I could see that happening too, because Ghost Rider is happening in the MCU. Kevin Feige put the kibosh on the Hulu show, which means that they clearly want to do something else.
I'd like a new Ghost Rider, like that would be all right, but I want a Nick Cage Ghost Rider, like just a quick Nick Cage Ghost Rider in the multiverse. Even if it's like a few frames, he's just like, not the bees, man, and then they just like cut off.
I could see Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield showing up again, and I say that because at the Spider-Man press conference at No Way Home, Tim Rothman, whatever the fuck his name is, he's the Sony Pictures president, CEO. He was like, they gave us Doctor Strange in this movie, so we have to give them one, and they got Doctor Strange coming out soon, so we gave them one. And I was like, oh, did you just confirm that some version of Spider-Man's in Multiverse of Madness?
I think it's going to be Tobey Maguire.
I could see it being Tobey.
I think Andrew Garfield they'll save for what you were talking about earlier, and he'll do that thing. But I think they'll pull in Tobey just for like a quick Multiverse of Madness. Like he seems also, like out of all three of those Spider-Mans, he seems like the one like Doctor Strange. I'd like to see him work with Doctor Strange. Just two adults.
Also, because Doctor Strange was directly mentioned in Spider-Man 2, where they're naming Dr. Octopus, and they're like Doctor Strange, and he's like, it's good, but it's taken.
Really?
Like,
yeah.
That's in Spider-Man 2. Sam Raimi is a huge fan of Spider-Man and Doctor Strange, and I can't. Also, Tobey Maguire, Sam Raimi's directing this movie, so that's another reason.
So I just pulled that one out of my ass too. I'm pretty proud of that. I think that'll be the case.
I'm so excited for another Sam Raimi Marvel movie. Like, that's gonna be awesome.
I can't wait to see what's going on in this, dude. That's a pretty exciting list of characters that might show up.
And I'm trying to think of anyone else. I would love a very quick Captain America Johnny Storm thing where he comes out and they're like, Cap? And he's like, never been called that before, but I'll take it. It's Johnny Storm. Please. Chris Evans recently said that he won't be appearing as Captain America for a long time, but he wouldn't count himself out of the Marvel movies, and he's been doing a lot of cameos recently. That's what he said. So I could see that happening.
Well, honestly, I feel like it has to happen. Like, they didn't even... it doesn't even really make sense that Captain America is not in the universe anymore. Like, what? He went back in time?
He said
but that's not how...
He won't be appearing as Captain America.
But for a while. I know that he won't, but... Steve Rogers Captain America still exists in the world. Like, just because he went back in time and lived out his life doesn't mean he would have had to kill the Steve Rogers that he went back in time and replaced. Like, there's still a Steve. He went back in time while the original. No, because when he went back in time and started dancing with him is after he went into the ice. So he didn't get that doesn't cancel each other out. There's still a Steve, like he fought himself in that same movie, so himself is in the ice right there. So he thought out. It still happened. They don't even mention that. They just brush that under the leg, or under the table.
Time travel thing doesn't make sense.
Not at all.
The way they did because technically he's with a Peggy Carter from another universe in that end scene, if they're going on the rules that they established.
Why? Well, they didn't do universe travel.
Yes, the rules they established is that if you time travel, you're creating a new timeline, therefore creating a new reality.
Then how is old him even in the that makes even less sense, because how is he even there?
People have asked the writers, and the writers give a different answer than the directors. They just knew that that's how they wanted it to end. The logistics of it don't matter. Don't think about it too hard.
God damn it! That's the first. That's the first thing I thought about. How does no one you'd think everyone's gonna think they should have realized that. Like they're like, wait a second, isn't Steve Rogers like Peggy? He walks in on Peggy like mourning the fact that he's frozen in the ice.
It's crazy to me that the writers and the directors have two different interpretations of it. Like, it's the same movie. You're working on the same film. You can't have two
Or
different
it's all been kept super under the wraps, and he is going to be in Doctor Strange as Captain America, but it's going to be a weird version because they're going to go back and fix that, where Steve Rogers went back, took Peggy, but then the Steve Rogers guys woke up, found out that Peggy was stolen, because in the original Captain America, he wakes up and goes to visit Peggy, but Peggy's like, yeah, I'm married to you, and he's like, what the fuck? And then he becomes like evil Steve Rogers. And then
Hydra Cap.
It's even crazier if you think.
Yeah, he gets Hydra Cap. He gets found by Hydra instead of Marvel, because they think
we could get Hydra Cap. That's a realistic possibility. But it's even stranger if you think that he went back with Peggy, was with Peggy, and then continued his life through the Avengers, and then boned his own niece, or like made out with his own niece. Think about that.
What have they done? What have they done to my boy Captain America?
No, I'm not going to go on that tangent. But, so, yeah, those are the characters I can see showing up in Multiverse of Madness. Obviously, we have America Chavez, and her superpower is that she can punch holes in the multiverse and just jump through realities.
Is that who has the star on their fucking jacket?
Yeah, that's America Chavez.
I haven't looked it up, but I've been, like, just running it through my head, wondering who that was since I saw the trailer.
We're getting a character, we're getting two. There were actually 3 Doctor Stranges in that trailer, and if you could only see the Doctor Strange and the Doctor Strange who everyone assumes is Doctor Strange Supreme. But this picture was released on the back of a Marvel Legends toy, and this character is seen in the trailer falling through reality because you see his ponytail.
What is this? Is this Polly Walnuts?
Show this on the screen, Jake. This character is being toted.
Oh, it's me, Doctor Strange.
Wise guy Strange.
This character is being toted as Defender Strange. So in the comics, Doctor Strange is the leader of a team called the Defenders.
Dude, I'm sorry, but if he has the wings, I won't be able to take it seriously without thinking about Polly Walnuts from The Sopranos. Seriously. Oh, what are you doing over here, Doctor Strange? This situation's a little strange for me. Now I'm getting into Willem Dafoe. I'm something of a strange myself.
So there's 3 versions of Doctor Strange in the movie. We're going to get the Defenders, which is Namor, Human Torch, but the robot version of the Human Torch. Also in this movie is said to be a version of the Illuminati, which is where Professor X, Mr. Fantastic. I've also heard rumors. This is a heavy grain of salt. I have no idea whether this is true or not, but I've heard, and they're from a long time ago. I haven't heard this recently. That Marvel was looking to cast like Tom Cruise as Iron Man, just for a cameo, because that's who they originally wanted as Iron Man. So they thought it'd be funny if they got him to play a multiverse version of Iron Man.
But they won't, because he's going to be in space.
Right now?
He's not in space. He's not in space right now, but he's going to space.
True. But so there's that, and yeah. So that's all my Doctor's Multiverse of Madness stuff. Anyone have anything else to say about Multiverse of Madness? Because I want to transition into a quick topic that I mentioned earlier. I'm talking a lot this episode.
When,
But I
when
got a
does
lot to
when does
say.
that come out?
Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness comes out this May.
Ooh.
It is our next MCU movie. It might be our next MCU project.
Stay tuned for the GeekLoop special. We'll try to get that one out rapidly.
Yeah, I'm excited. That one's gonna be.
We gotta
that's
beat
gonna
the
be
curve.
Bigger.
We gotta be leading in the news outlet, the information source. We're leading the curve. Everyone's coming to us to learn about this movie.
The thing about this movie is that I think you're gonna see some of the cameos in the trailers, like the smaller ones. The problem is Marvel doesn't have faith in Doctor Strange. They don't believe the Doctor Strange movies are gonna do well, and I think that's why they put the trailer in No Way Home to tell you, hey, this movie's coming out.
Which
Marvel didn't have faith in Doctor Strange 1. They don't have faith. It took them so long to make that movie because the Disney didn't have faith in it. So the advertising for No Way Home, you don't have to show the other Spider-Man because it's Spider-Man. It's gonna make money no matter what.
I love Doctor Strange. That was like, I know a lot of people who don't watch Marvel movies, but they'll watch Doctor Strange because that's
I love Doctor Strange too, but another big part of it is like, not necessarily that, but like people, they just aren't confident in the character, and I don't know that. But he's appeared clearly. Marvel likes him. Like Kevin Feige clearly likes him because he's appeared in, I would say like half the MCU movies since he's come out.
I love it. Benedict Cumberbatch, Doctor Strange is one of my favorite MCU characters. Probably is in like the strictly MCU movies. He is, I think, my favorite character.
I'm a huge fan, but that's why I think you could see some of the cameos in the trailers, like the smaller ones, because they want this movie to do numbers. Another multiverse movie pulling in other Marvel characters from other movies, just like No Way Home. But the thing about No Way Home is that it got leaked to smithereens. And they have the villains in the trailers and all that.
Well, they all will. These days some leaks are like basically promos.
Right. Well,
like I was watching a video that picture of Andrew Garfield that everyone was going around about, like was highly speculated that was just released by Marvel pretty much. Like they just made that picture and put it out there to get people to start talking. Yeah. Because it was on everyone's podcast, everyone's YouTube video, like that picture right there. Everyone's clicking on it.
Jimmy Fallon. Like he put it on Jimmy Fallon talked about it. It's free marketing. I'd be surprised if they weren't doing stuff like that.
You think they're gonna bring in some stuff from What If into this too? Because they got the Strange Supreme coming in there. They got the hint at that. So
I would say so. I also would say that giant tentacle creature that they're fighting, it looks just like Shumagorath, but they say it's not. But I'm not gonna explain what Shumagorath is and all that. But remember in the first episode of What If, when Peggy Carter, that giant squid thing is coming through?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure that's the thing they're fighting.
Same thing he kills later, doesn't he?
Yeah. Does he kill it?
Well, when he's collecting all of them, he kills some squid thing.
Oh yeah. You're right. I think that's that thing.
And he becomes like part Davy Jones.
Yeah.
So what was that? The next was you wanted the DC movies?
So, I want to, not necessarily the DC movies, but I want to talk about, like we mentioned earlier, the thing in Hollywood a few years ago was reboots and sequels. Jurassic World, Jumanji, Blade Runner 2049, Indiana Jones, Men in Black.
Well, Indiana Jones hasn't happened yet.
Right, but it's gonna. But also, Indiana Jones was like the start of it when they did Crystal Skull.
That doesn't count. Don't speak about that movie.
Bad Boys for Life. All these movies, sequel reboots. Now that Hollywood has smelt the sweet, sweet nectar that is the multiverse is everywhere. And I think that that's going to be the next huge thing in Hollywood. Bringing old characters back, doing new versions of different characters. And here's what DC is doing with the Flash movie. Okay? You ready?
But I liked the Flash they had.
Yeah, no.
You didn't?
Ezra Miller?
Yeah.
I only like him in Zack Snyder's Justice League. I hate him in the Justice League movie.
Well, I've never seen anything other than the Zack Snyder one. Zack Snyder.
You've never seen the original Justice League?
No.
Bruh. You gotta watch it for comparison. I love Zack Snyder's Justice League. Like I'll die on a hill for that movie.
I
It's
liked it.
incredible.
Yeah, it was a great movie.
I thought it was amazing. And I think the scene of him healing himself and reverting time is like one of the best scenes in any superhero movie. I love that scene. I think he's great in that movie.
Tell you I like him more than the Flash in the show.
I do like him more than the Flash. But Ezra Miller also appeared on the show as Flash.
How?
You didn't see that either?
Oh, was it like some multiverse shit?
They did Crisis on Infinite Earth, and Ezra Miller appeared. And that's why I think that Grant Gustin's gonna appear in the movie for at least a little bit. I think he has to like.
But
tie it all
DC doing this shit means almost nothing to me. Because what, they're gonna make a new Flash? How many fucking Batmans have there been? This is like DC's MO. They're like, here's a new movie of the same hero we've done 15 times, but now it's a new actor. No, it doesn't relate to the other movies at all. It's just completely new. Like that's all. Marvel has a nice organized universe. DC is just fucking releasing movies. They don't give a fuck. They're just putting movies
throw
out.
Shit to a wall and see what sticks, and that's what they're doing with the Flash though. So I posted the picture you can post on the screen of Crisis on Infinite Earths. So I think they have to explain this in the movie, so I could see it happening. Which would be really cool. Technically, this is also how Ezra Miller's Flash gets the name The Flash. Because in that scene, he comes and he's like, "Who are you?" And he's like, "I'm The Flash." And he's like, "The Flash? That's cool." And I'm like, okay, I see what you're doing. Because Ezra Miller was never called Flash in his movie or in Justice League.
He was called. What was he gonna? I'm gonna say he's called.
anything.
Hey, Speedster.
The wizard.
Isn't that the SpongeBob? Isn't that SpongeBob's superpower? He's the speedster, and he runs and he melts in his shoes.
Oh yeah, I'm excited for the Flash movie. I really am, because there's things about it that I'm interested to see. My theory is that you saw the trailer, right?
Yeah.
My theory is that the second Flash that's with him, you know, that multiverse Barry Allen, because there's that clip, there's that picture where it's him, a second Flash, and Supergirl. You know what I'm talking about?
I think so. I'm looking it up to refresh my memory.
But I think that second Flash he's with is actually Reverse Flash, pretending to be another Barry Allen.
Yeah, this shot right here, he's with.
Hold up.
One of them is just him.
Yeah, no, one of them's just him. The front one's him, and then Supergirl.
This
and
is
then
him
that
too.
Flash, right. That's him, but a multiverse version of him.
That's so funny that they. So he is playing the Flash. He's not.
Yes, but I think that version in the back is Reverse Flash, pretending to be Barry Allen from another universe. What's interesting about that suit that he's wearing too, is that's actually Michael Keaton's Batman suit with a Flash logo spray painted on it. I'm not even kidding. That right there, because hold on, it gets better.
There he was.
I didn't like him not following this movie at all.
I'm excited for this movie. I just think that there's a lot of stuff happening in it that I wish wasn't. The director tweeted out this picture, which is literally, if you look closely at that shot, it's what he's wearing. It's got the spray paint on it. It's got the spray painted logo. So he's wearing a Michael Keaton bat suit, but he turned it into a Flash suit. And then go back and look at the other image, and you'll see they're the same.
I lost the other image.
That's okay. But so there's a lot happening in this movie, and I'm trying to find the tweet about it. You might have to edit this part out while I'm looking for the tweet.
And so I said,
I did.
liquor? I hardly know her.
When's Batman coming out?
March.
Got all these new. They don't fucking. I want more Henry Cavill. That's all I care about from DC.
Oh, you're about to be disappointed.
I mean, is he done?
That's what I'm about to tell you. I don't know if he's done, but I'm about to. This
It's
is
okay.
a rumor.
Let him go. Let him go make the Red Dead movie.
No, you see, here's what I want. I want Marvel to get Zack Snyder to direct a Squadron Supreme movie. Squadron Supreme is Marvel's version of the Justice League, like actual rip-off characters of the Justice League. It's done on purpose, but they're evil. And there's a character, Hyperion is Superman. Get Henry Cavill to play Hyperion.
Oh shit.
Yeah, the Squadron Supreme.
Okay, continue.
They're literally just a version. They're intended to be a rip-off of the Justice League.
So Hyperion started out as a Superman ripoff, like literally. He just isn't.
Yes.
Oh wow. Okay.
I'm pretty certain. Like, this is the Squadron Supreme. Posting it in chat. Show it on the screen. Like, notice anything? And it's 100% intentional.
Jewel. That's so funny.
Okay. I'm getting distracted here. I'm supposed to be signing into stuff. Hold on.
Well, we have this little short break. I will say, quick tidbit. You know, I've been watching. What the fuck is it called? The blind
TV
guy
show.
who beats people up.
Daredevil.
Daredevil. I'm watching Daredevil again.
Have you not seen it before?
No, I've seen it. I'm just watching it again. Holy shit, that character Foggy is such a pussy. It drives me crazy.
It's even worse in season 2.
I hate Foggy. I forgot how much I hate him. He's just like
Really?
he's like crying over the fact
Foggy
that he's being Daredevil. Like that's just so
Foggy's
cringe.
even more annoying in season 2. For sure.
I don't remember
I haven't
disliking
seen
him.
season 3, so.
He's just such
I
a
feel like I remember liking
such a
Foggy.
big bitch. That's what I thought too. I thought I liked Foggy, and then he starts doing this whole like arc where he's like pissed at Matt for like being Daredevil, and I'm just like, dude, come on. Well, get off. What is this holier than thou shit?
Be Daredevil. If I had what Matt had.
Yeah, anyone would. No one would. And if your friend was Daredevil, would you really be pissed that they didn't tell you? Who gives a fuck? I would. You didn't tell me. I'd be like, fucking, that's sick. That's awesome.
I've never understood the route of movies taking the idea of people being pissed that they don't tell them they're superheroes. Like, do you not live in a, like, clearly you don't live in a world with superhero movies where you understand that they're doing it.
Yeah, that's what. Clearly, in the Daredevil universe, there's never been a superhero movie or comic or anything.
Yeah.
That's not a concept.
That's what, like, bruh. Alright, where the fuck is it? I've also, speaking of Daredevil, a very reliable source says that Daredevil is about to show up everywhere in the cinematic universe.
No way.
Like, in everything.
That's intense.
Okay, so here's a quick peek at it, but I don't usually tweet about DC stuff, but I have a friend who, this guy has been right about some stuff. Obviously, take it with a grain of salt, rumor. But I have a friend who's seen a rough copy of The Flash, and the movie will erase every movie Snyder has done. Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, and Justice League never happened now. Erased from continuity. Affleck and Cavill are both gone.
I don't care about Affleck, but that. I have a feeling that is 100% fake. Because getting rid of Henry Cavill, DC would literally. That's suicide. That's suicide.
All the rumors I see say that Warner Brothers is not inviting Henry Cavill to come back.
Why would they do? Why would they do that? Why would they? That's like everyone loves Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill is like the internet sensation. Like, to have him as Superman is like the golden ticket, and they would just get rid of that. That is the stupidest decision I think I have ever heard in my life.
Here it is. Okay.
That makes no sense. That makes absolutely no sense. It's like at some points you think DC just wants people to dislike them. They like get off being the controversial, like
some of the
they want to be the franchise that when you're talking amongst your friends, like everyone's like, yeah, I love Marvel. You get that one kid that's like, I'm more of a DC guy, and everyone's like, oh, what the fuck?
And
that's what they want to be.
So
it's for the edgy kids.
The wording that these scoopers are using, and this is all over the internet right now, so I'm willing to bet that it's true, but the wording that the scoopers are using, I just think is pissing people off. But so here it is. Batfleck's final appearance, because Ben Affleck is in this movie as Batman. It's going to be his final movie as Batman. Old footage of Henry Cavill will be used on a TV. There will be a new Justice League formed. Supergirl is the new Superman. And Michael Keaton is the new full-time Batman. He's working with Black Canary, and they're going to pick a new Batgirl as the new Batman. So Batman and Superman are gone and replaced with Supergirl and Batgirl. And Michael Keaton will be the permanent DCEU Batman, acting as more of a Nick Fury figure.
Okay, I'm not watching DC movies anymore. I'm also reading this, so you're right, and Henry Cavill's like pissed. He's not pleased that they didn't even ask him. They did the same thing that the fucking Matrix people did and just cut him out.
Bring back as Hyperion. Marvel, cast this man as Hyperion.
Yeah, steal him. That's if DC drops him enough to make him pissed, Marvel should steal him. He is. I'm not even just because I like him. I think Henry Cavill is like that's like Marvel getting Zendaya. Like that's like an internet thing that everyone wants to see. If you have like Henry Cavill, Zendaya, those types of names in your movie, you're just gonna automatically get people to see the movie, even if they don't want to see, even if they don't care about superheroes and stuff.
And here's the thing about that tweet. I think Batgirl and Supergirl are great characters, but DC acting like Batman and Superman can't exist alongside Batgirl and Supergirl is stupid. Like, why can't you have both of them? Why can't Superman and Supergirl should exist together? They contrast each other. Like, I can't
get with it.
I mean, Batgirl's a completely different character than Batman.
Batman's
Batman. You need
Batman. I know, and it's why I hate DC so much, because like what? Now we're gonna get this upcoming Batman movie just for you to be like, this doesn't matter because that's not even the real Batman. Like, why am I even watching? Why do I even want to watch your movies anymore if nothing fucking matters? You just every 5 years you're just gonna dump all your previous content, say it doesn't matter, and make something new. Fuck off. Like, that is just fucking, and they didn't even call back.
I hate when people talk about like, oh, taking characters and making them female, or they're just girl characters for the sake of marketing to the populace. I hate that shit, because it's like, okay, well, women can be in movies too, bro, chill. But like this scenario where Marvel's coming up, we're getting female Thor. We have our Black Captain America. We have Captain Marvel. We have Miss Marvel. We're getting Ironheart. And it's like, okay, we're getting all these new diverse characters. Cool. But those characters didn't just like appear. They're there naturally. Like, they showed up, they worked up to those characters. And I'm not saying DC has to work up to Batgirl, but you also don't have to completely shove Batman under the fucking couch to do a Batgirl.
Yeah, you don't need to make him like a fucking decrepit old man who's not even doing it. Like, what? Like, yeah, you guys can have Batman, but he's gonna be in a wheelchair.
Like, I'm 100% all for giving other superheroes movies instead of Batman and Superman, because we've seen millions of Batman and Superman movies. Like, I'm all for Batgirl getting a movie. I'm all for Supergirl getting a movie. That's awesome. I want that so much. But in my opinion, the Justice League needs Batman and Superman. Like, their relationship hasn't even been properly done on film yet. Like, we had Batman vs. Superman, yeah, and we had Justice League. And I'm talking about Zack Snyder's Justice League, but their relationship has not nearly been tapped into.
No, not at all.
And that's like one of the most interesting contrasts in comics.
Yeah.
Is the Superman and Batman relationship.
You know what we need? We need, for a superhero movie, I want to see, and I'm 100% serious, I want to see the Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy movie. When is it coming out?
Plus, baby.
I'm so surprised that has never been made, like, as a SpongeBob spin-off thing. That just seems like obvious. Like, I would 100% go see that.
The creator of SpongeBob said he didn't want any spin-offs. And it's actually kind of sad, because the second he died, Nickelodeon announced like 3 spin-offs.
And none of them are good.
And none of them are good.
The only one that would have been good that I thought was the one that was like an adult show, but it was like more about Squidward, but they were gonna make it like a PG-13 show or something. That would have been cool. Said they just released like 2 baby shows. They released like a Camp Corral for babies and the Patrick Star Show, which is less for babies but still geared towards babies. Like
It's geared towards absolute idiots.
like the what people love it. What people love about SpongeBob is like that under the table humor, like that stuff that applies to all ages, but you wouldn't get it right away. Like I was watching an episode literally last night, and like the one where Sandy saves him from the island where the guy, it's like the karate island, but the guy's really just trying to sell him a timeshare, and then as they're walking away at the end of the episode, Sandy's like, "Now let me teach you a few things about real estate." And like no kid's gonna find that funny, but it's so funny. And like the whole fact that it goes there and is trying to sell him a timeshare, like. Like no kid knows what a timeshare is, but that shit's funny. Like I still would watch that. They need to get back on that.
Yeah, they never will.
Yeah.
Did you know that
It's dead.
SpongeBob apparently makes up for like a crazy portion of all of Paramount's money?
Yeah. Fucking Nicktoons is like one of the #1 channels in the entire United States of America. It's purely because people like me will go upstairs before bed and just watch SpongeBob and shit like that. Like if I turned on my TV in my room right now, it would open to Nicktoons, which I hope to God would be playing SpongeBob, because that's just the shit that I like to have playing when I'm in my room. It's fucking funny. It's great.
SpongeBob has generated more than $12 billion in merchandising alone.
Yeah, it's no joke. I'm also sad to say, but I'm looking at the timer, reaching like 1:30. I think we're gonna wrap things up after final comments. What do you got? What do you got for us?
I want to say one tweet that I just found that's super funny that goes back to what we were talking about earlier about Spider-Man 4 and the Amazing Spider-Man 3. There's all these like social media campaigns already for make TASM 3, make Spider-Man 4, just like the Snyder Cut shit. But this tweet is funny. It says, and it's 100% true. It says, Sony will see the fans begging for the Amazing Spider-Man 3 and Spider-Man 4 and will greenlight 6 Morbius films and a Big Wheel trilogy.
6 more what films?
6 Morbius films and a Big Wheel trilogy.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Hill for a Big Wheel trilogy.
I'm all for Spider-Man 4 opening with him fighting Big Wheel. Like, that's its cold open, is him fighting Big Wheel. That'd be epic. I'd love it. I'd be about 1,000 times more excited for Morbius if it wasn't starring Jared Leto.
Yes.
I'm not even kidding.
100%.
I'd be riding the Morbius train so hard if it wasn't for Jared Leto.
You don't like Jared Leto?
I hate him.
Good.
I hate Jared Leto.
If you look
He's awful.
Any level into Jared Leto, there's no way you could like him as a person. He's just terrible.
He's horrible.
He literally is Morbius IRL.
They could have got Adam Driver to do it.
Jared Leto's like, I never got my chance to really be the Joker. I only sent Margot Robbie a couple of used condoms and a dead rat.
Seriously, like, what the fuck?
I'm method acting the Joker, so I killed that guy over there. Yeah. It's fine though. I'm method acting.
That's classic.
I fucking hate Jared Leto.
I hate him so much.
All right.
I hate him so much.
That's you know what? I think we should leave it at that with a big fuck you, Jared Leto.
Yeah.
Official. This is the official GeekLoop fuck you. Stamped. The GeekLoop. GeekLoop motherfucks Jared Leto.
I just signed Jared Leto for the next episode. Why are you just telling me we can't have him on?
You're gonna have to call him. You're gonna have to have that conversation with Jared.
No, he's gonna fucking sign.
Jared, listen. I know I just talked to you yesterday, but things aren't gonna work out. I don't think we're gonna be filming that episode. Nothing against you or anything. He just flips out. And then
my plasma out.
Jared Leto. Oh my god, the fucking. And he's such a. He said something about Gucci, and he said that it involved him. What did he say? He said, "This is my love letter to Gucci. This is it. I did it all. I was snorting lines of Arabica sauce in the middle of this movie. I had olive oil for blood. If you took a biopsy of my skin, it would come back as Parmesan cheese. This is my love letter to Italy."
Jesus.
Fuck you, Jared Leto.
God damn, Jared Leto, you motherfucker. How dare you use
Motherless fuck.
I hate him.
that country's name in vain. All right. Well,
There are movies that I see and I'm so excited about, and then it's like Jared Leto, and I'm like, oh fuck.
that's Hollywood for
All right,
you.
on that note, fuck
We'll
you,
see.
Jared Leto.
We will see in the next loop.
Good
Hopefully,
episode.
big
Good ep.
things.
Peace out, gloopers. Later.
Bye.
Bye bye.